Billy Napier and the Florida Gators have really kicked it into gear after losing out earlier this offseason on Jaden Rashada, the quarterback, who everybody thought was going to Florida. And many thought Billy Napier and this Florida Gators recruiting class was going to take a massive nosedive. They turned it around with flipping Marcus Stokes. They added Trayon Webb. They added Eugene Wilson. And then just in the past 2 days, they have now added Aiden Mizell, the speed threat, and another wide receiver, four-star, that could also really add some intriguing size and length into this wide receiver room in Andy Jean out of Miami, Florida. What does this mean for the Florida Gators 2023 recruiting class and moving forward for this offense? Andy Jean, he stands at 6'1", 180. Again, plays at Northwestern High School out of Miami, Florida, commits to the Florida Gators today. He sits as a very intriguing wide receiver in the recruiting services, and I'm going to tell you why. He sits as wide receiver 42 in the 24/7 Sports composite as a four-star. He is a three-star, though, on 24/7 Sports as wide receiver 70. What is boosting him so much higher up in the composite compared to 24/7 Sports is On Three. On Three, the newest recruiting service out of the four, has him listed at wide receiver 25 and a four-star 170th in the nation for On Three, where the other three sites have him a tad bit lower, 24/7 Sports being the lowest at 68, ESPN at 57, and Rivals at 53. So On Three has him as a top 25 wide receiver in this class, and there are definitely some reasons why they probably think he's that good. For number one, he's a very shifty wide receiver in his route, but what stands out to me is his massive catch radius. He brings an entirely different game to the Florida Gators than Aiden Mizell, who just committed a couple days ago, who is just a speed demon, incredible speed all over the field. As I mentioned just a little bit ago, Gene stands at 6'1", 180, but he has a verified 6'5", 5.5 wingspan, and his ability to win contested catch situations is absolutely incredible. He knows how to use his body to shield defenders and then use that massive wingspan to high point the ball, and almost always comes down with it. While he does not have the speed in his game that Mizell does, he does do a good job of getting down the field vertically when needed. He really, though, seems to thrive in the middle of the field and in the short and intermediate parts of the game. And I do think he's got enough quickness to create separation there. His game against the powerhouse program, IMG Academy, everywhere, seems to be the reason he's vaulted up some of these recruiting services, where he caught 6 receptions for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's a very, very intriguing player. And as I mentioned, very different than the recent commit Aiden Mizell with his his size and his quickness. While not exactly having the speed that Aiden Mizell has, he is definitely an intriguing fit for the Florida Gators. Justin Shorter is going into his fourth year and one of the guys that's likely going to lead the room this year. But with COVID, he can come back for one more year. I don't think that he necessarily affects I don't necessarily think he affects him long term here. I really think that Andy Jean is going to be fine when it comes to this. Shorter's probably the one that starts over him next year. If, again, Shorter comes back, he can because of COVID. I don't know that he necessarily does. You've also got Pearsall, the transfer from Arizona State, who does technically have 2 years left of eligibility as well. I don't know that he's a big effect on them. It's really just Xavier Henderson, who's really interested while he is entering his third year. He does have a couple more years of eligibility, again, because of COVID. I just want to keep mentioning that. But again, they've brought in a couple wide receivers in this class, and I really think they're going to be just kind of the group moving forward here. The ones that they build around in, as I just mentioned, Andy Jean, you've got Aiden Mizell, and they brought in Eugene Wilson, who's actually listed as an athlete, one of the top athletes in the country, but it seems like he's going to play wide receiver for them. I think those are the three guys that they're going to build around in this class, because all three of them are very, very good. They also brought in the athlete Creed Whitmore, who's going to play wide receiver. Billy Napier and the Florida Gators are really building an intriguing wide receiver room here. And I think they're going to be fine whichever way they go with quarterback. They've got Jack Miller on the roster right now, who I expect is probably going to be the quarterback, him, or they just flipped Marcus Stokes, one of the Elite 11 finalists from Penn State. As we all likely believe Anthony Richardson goes out there, has an incredible season this year, and likely goes on to the NFL because of his dynamic skill set. So if that happens, you're looking at it either being Jack Miller, who is highly recruited and was an Ohio State quarterback, or it's going to go to the young kid Marcus Stokes. Regardless, with the wide receiver room they're building, just with those four alone, even if you take Xavier Henderson out of it, the Florida Gators program is looking really good. Again, after being left for dead by a lot of other recruiting services and a lot of people after they lost out on Jaden Rashada, the Gators were done for, and Billy Napier was in trouble. They've done an incredible job of turning that around here recently. Guys, if you like this kind of content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of these recruiting videos or anything else we've got coming up as we are entering the college football season. We will have nothing but college football content daily, and I mean daily, on this channel. If you guys play any kind of college fantasy, we've got our CFF guide, we've got our freshman guide, and we've got our Devy guide available at campusducanton.com, which will also be linked in the description. Everybody have yourselves a great day, and we will talk to you guys